Hey guys, and how are you all doing today? So I have been very busy lately and I have been unable to film, but it's been all good things. I have some very exciting news. I am actually in the process of buying a home. I can't believe I'm saying this because I never thought I would be here. I'm 23 years old. I know it seems kind of young to maybe start this process. I've wanted a home for over a year now. I do love it here, but it is very tiny. So I live here with my boyfriend and it is 700 square foot, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. The space is just kind of closing in on us. And we live in Louisville, obviously, in Louisville, Kentucky. I work up here and he goes to school up here, but our family is from Bardstown, Kentucky, and that is where we spend most of our time. When we're not working or going to school, we go back every weekend, sometimes during the week as well. And the commute's about 45 minutes and we're like, you know what, if we spend all of our outside time with our families, which we do, we like to go to church there. We're just, that's home, you know, that's home for us. Since we're spending all of our time there, we decided we should be moving there and living there. So I am going to be the one buying a home with my own money. It will be my home, but we'll probably be there together until he has a job of his own. Then he can start actually, maybe we can move into a newer, bigger home, but I'm allowing him to live with me. I'm super excited, can't believe I'm saying that. And I have found a home. I am in the process of closing on it. I will see how the inspection goes today. Today is the inspection process. Offer has been accepted. It's a small 3-bed, 2-bath home. I'm very excited about it. In Bardstown, like maybe 5 to 2 minutes away from my parents. Yeah, so we will see how the inspection goes today. I'm a little bit worried about the furnace. Looks a little bit old. It's definitely a fixer-upper type home. It's old, traditional, more a little bit outdated in the kitchen and the bathroom, places like that. But it's all hardwood floors and I'm really liking it. I don't want to jinx myself as far as the inspection goes because I'm worried about the furnace, and if, you know, obviously if the seller doesn't want to pay for it, whatever, it might be a deal breaker for me. But I really love it. It's so cute, and there will be pictures to come. You'll be able to see me in this whole process of fixing it up, having my first fixer-upper home. It's a perfect little starter home for us, and obviously not a forever home, but my plan is to fix it up over the years we live there and then sell it and find something bigger and just that whole fun process. But I'm super into DIY projects, as you guys know, and into fixing things up, so I'm super excited. Yeah, I'm just so excited to get my hands dirty and get in there because there's some projects that I'm really excited for. But I can't believe that I'll be buying my own home, and it definitely is a big, looming, stressful process, but I feel so ready for it, and I feel like this is right for me. It's definitely hard listening to like everyone else's opinions on it and, you know, what's right, what's wrong, you know, and all I have to say for first-time home buyers is, you know what, go with your gut. You know, if you get into something, obviously don't get into something that you can't afford. That's number one, and that's what obviously I would never do that, and that's what everyone's been telling me is the first off. But just no one else knows what's right for you except you in that moment. And you know what, it might be a mistake or it might be a learning process, and that's okay. And I've kind of had to like let go and be like, okay, like this is the first time I'm buying a home. This is a big undertaking. That's okay. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but you know what? I'm never gonna know if I don't try. And the first time you try is the first time you learn and the first time you know for the future. So just don't be scared to give it a shot if you have the funds and you're ready for it and you believe you are. I've had multiple different adults, and you know, I totally understand their advice and their perspective, and I really respect it. But just tell me that, you know, you're too young. You're too young to buy a house. You're too young to take care of a house. Why would you want a house right now? You're 23. Be young, have fun, you know, like you don't want to be tied down to a house and all these things. And I'm like, the reality is I know what's best for me, and I know that I'm the one in Bardstown all the time with my family, and that this is something that's going to be really good for me, make me happy and be healthy for me. And it's just interesting hearing everyone else's perspectives. Another thing a lot of people tell me is not to get married when I'm young, and I'm sure a lot of young people get told the same thing. And you know what, again, it's all about your perspective, what works for you in your life. No one writes the rule book, right or wrong. Like, you don't have to listen to everyone else's opinion of what you should do with your life, especially when it comes to really big decisions like that. You should listen to your heart and what you want and what's important to you. I've had a really hard time listening to that as well, just from multiple people in my life, and it's just like, you know, this is what I want and it is what it is, and this is my life and it's not theirs. I am such a people pleaser when it comes to those things, especially listening to outsiders' opinion. My family, I'm a little bit better with being like, okay, no, this is what I want. But with outsiders, I've had to learn how to be like, you know what? It may not have worked for you in your lifestyle at that age and at that time, but it might work for me now. And it probably will, because it's what I want to do and I'm gonna try it for myself. And you know, if it fails, it fails. Then that's life. That's too bad. It'll be a good learning experience. But you kind of have to have that confidence in yourself to kind of do that and make those big decisions. Yeah, the pressure of everyone else's opinions has been the hardest part of this entire process, believe it or not. And I didn't expect that. I do respect other people, and the reason I'm having such a hard time with the process is because I listen to other people. I take their advice. I definitely take what they say to heart. You have to realize that sometimes doing something for you is a good thing, and separating what they want from what you want. And it's a hard process. It's a hard learning experience. But I hope I'm gonna look back on this when I'm older and be like, yeah, good 23-year-old Abby, you did what you were wanting to do and what made sense for you at the time. I took a leap of faith, you know? But I'm super, super excited. So like I said, if everything goes well with this inspection, I will be closing on this home in December, late December, and then I will be in this lease at this apartment for only, I guess, January, February, March. And those will be the last 3 months we'll be here. So we'll be slowly moving in there as we're ending our lease here, and just like slowly doing all those projects before we get all of our furniture in there. There's a lot of painting on the walls, a lot of refinishing, like I said, the kitchen, the bathroom, things that we can do now that I have the money for now. Things that I will have the money for later will come later. Yeah, I'm super excited to be a home owner and move forward with my life and do all of that good stuff. So I wanted to share it with you all, and if you are going through something similar right now, please comment below. I would love to hear your take and what you've been doing and how you've been balancing, you know, being an adult. They don't teach you how to be an adult in school. And I know that sounds silly to say, but it's true. It's like, I realize the older I get, everyone wings it. They just wing it. They take a leap of faith. They do what they think is right, and that has consequences, either good or bad. They learn from it, they move on. And I think that's what's so important to remember, is that we're all just kind of doing this life thing together and trying to figure it out. It doesn't matter what age you are, you know, like some people have more experience than others, and some people are just starting out, but we're all really just, a new experience is a new experience, no matter what age you are. So it can be a scary leap of faith, but I'd be curious to hear how everyone else's lives are going and what everyone else is doing. Please let me know if you're a young homeowner or how it's been going, all those good things. If you flipped a house, if you're into DIY projects, please comment below. I would love to talk to you and get your perspective. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please make sure to hit that like button below and subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of lifestyle vlogs and try on hauls, things like that. That's what I like to do on this channel. If you're new to this channel, I should have said this at the beginning, but my name is Abby. It's nice to meet you. I will see you all next week. Have a good week and bye. Hey guys, and how are you all doing? So something weird's happening with my camera, and I feel like it's like really zooming in on me. So I'm so sorry about this. I'm also hiding in a corner in my bedroom at my parents' house. So the dogs are barking, and my mom is moving furniture upstairs, which is making a huge racket. But I wanted to sit down and keep you guys in the know of what is going on with this whole crazy process of me being a first-time home buyer. So what's happening basically is that, gosh, where do I even start? So the inspection happened for the house that I was looking at previously. It didn't go well. There was a lot of things wrong with the house. The roof needed replaced. It needed a new furnace. It's a 1950s house. So I had a lot of issues. So finally the sellers agreed to pay for the roof begrudgingly. And that whole process is going down. They haven't started on the roof, blah, blah, blah. Here we are. And now the appraisal comes in, and the house appraises for less than the house is being sold for. And I put in my contract, I thought that I would pay for what they were offering or the appraisal value, depending on what the appraisal value was. but the realtor, I guess, didn't exactly that in the contract. So I basically just don't want to pay for a house that is appraising for less than it's worth, and I don't want to pay for more than the house is worth, especially for my first home. So also, side note, I forgot my contacts, so I'm stuck with my glasses today. Yay, hopefully it makes me look smarter. But the reason I'm telling you guys this is because I'm not completely given up hope yet. I haven't completely ended the contract with this other house. I'm not sure if I will. I just kind of have to see if the sellers are willing to let me just, you know, have the house for what it's worth, or willing to pay the difference, or all those crazy things. And I still like this house, but I have found another house that I do really like too. So basically, I'm going to go look at another house right now, and it's in Bardstown. It's kind of perfect. It's tinier than the other house. It's 1,200 square foot. It's a little blue house with a red door and 3-bedroom, 1 bath instead of 3-bedroom, 2 bath. And I don't have any kids. It's just me and Kaylin. So I'm trying to decide if I want to maybe go for this house instead, because it just came on the market. It's really, really beautiful. I would have gone for it originally. And this house that I've wanted, actually this blue house that I'm about to look at today, is actually a house that was on the market about a year ago when I first started looking for houses before I moved into my apartment in Louisville. It was perfect and I wanted it then, and I was going to get it then, except I didn't have the funds at that point saved up, and it didn't make sense at that time to buy a house in Bardstown because I was just starting to work in Louisville and I didn't want to commute. And now I realize I'm doing everything here anyway, so I'm moving back. But it's literally for sale, and I know you're like, oh, that's a quick turnaround. Why would it be for sale less than a year? Because it sold last on like March of this year. And it turns out it was going to be a rental property, but the people, they decided they didn't want to pay for a rental property, but more so they just wanted to sell the house during this great time to sell houses, because houses are selling like crazy in Kentucky, as I'm sure everywhere else. So yeah, so basically I'm going to look at this house today. I will keep you posted. I might take a video of it if she allows me to, but soon enough you'll know, I guess, which house I choose, or I might even just end up ending my lease and living at my parents' house, and Kaylin living at his parents' house, and us just being kids again and saving money for a house. So there's a lot of up in the air craziness that's happened since I last did that video. I'm still very excited and hoping to be a first-time home buyer. I really love this house on paper. I'm ready to see it in person, see what's wrong with it, see what issues it has. Because if there's anything I've learned, there are a lot of freaking issues with a lot of homes. Every home has its issue. No home is perfect. So anyway, let's just go look at that, and I will let you guys know when I get back how it goes. All right. Alright guys, so I just went to look at that house. I just got back and it was really cute. It was perfect. Anything I could ask for. It was newer than this other house I'm under contract with. Newer wood floors, like everything's been updated. It's a little bit of a smaller house, but it's just been like painted, and all the hard kind of work that I would have to do in the other house has been done. So that's nice because it's kind of like move-in ready and it looks really good, and I can just focus on buying things like furniture and making it look cute in my own way. But about the other house, I mean, the reason I went for it in the first place is because I like a project. I love to do DIY, painting, different home projects. So, I mean, the other one is ready to be moved in like right away, but we wouldn't be moving in right away because our lease ends in April. So it's just a lot. It's a lot to think about. Also on this blue house, the cute one that's pretty new that I just looked at, it also has someone that has made an offer. They live out of state. They made an offer, but they still have to sell their other house first. So that's just another like contingency, another thing to think about, that someone's already made an offer. So they have like 48 hours to sell their home or pay the money anyway, move forward before selling their home. So basically they have first dibs, and I can't do anything about that. So that's also something to consider. So I'm basically just waiting to hear about the contract I'm under right now and see if the sellers are willing to pay for the appraisal value, or willing to accept the appraisal value instead of making me pay more than what it appraised for. Because I don't think I'm gonna move forward with this other house that I'm under contract with if I'm gonna have to pay more than the house is worth. No one wants to do that. So I'm gonna wait and see if they're willing to take the appraisal value instead. And if they are, I might just move forward. You know, like I said, I like the projects. I liked that house to begin with. It's still a nice house to me. Just needs a little more work, a little bit more elbow grease. stories, but if there's anything I have learned about this process, it is so stressful and intense. Like, I know it sounds like lame, and it's nice in our situation, or for my situation, because I can just come home and live with my parents once our lease is up, but it just makes everything a lot harder when you've been, you know, living with your boyfriend and you like living together and everything's going really good, to just going back and living separately with your parents. So it's just a hard situation. I really hope that everything works out and that I get one of these two houses, because I think they're both good options in their own way. One's bigger, one has a little bit more to offer, but more projects to deal with, a little bit more expensive. My mom is yelling at the dog upstairs. But yeah, it's insanely stressful, and I feel like around every bend there's just a new issue and thing to consider, and it's just like I have people in one ear telling me one thing and people in another ear telling me another thing, and it's like I said, it's really, you just need to listen to you and what's best for you. It's been so hard to just be like, okay, like, no, but like, what do I want? Like, what makes sense to me? What do I want? I'm not perfect, but if I make a decision, I have to feel good about it. I'm the one who has to live with it. So I gotta make sure that that's the right decision for me. So this whole process has taught me a lot about myself. I'm very indecisive. I'm not very good at making decisions. I've always been one to like falter, get really worried, try one thing, back out, try another thing. And I'm like, no, like, I'm gonna see this through. I'm gonna follow what I think is right and stick with it and just go for it. It's just like what you have to do, and you'll learn from your mistakes along the way, but like, that's how you learn. So I just am so sick of, yeah, the whole indecisiveness, and I'm trying really hard to be like, okay, no, like, what's logical? Let's lay out pros and cons. I've made a list of pros and cons with both houses. I've made a list of pros and cons from living with my parents to living in an apartment to living in a house, and I have them all written out, and they both have plenty of pros and plenty of cons, and it made me feel so much better and more logical about the whole process. So I'm really kind of rambling at this point, but I will keep you updated. I'll continue to tell you what's happening. I'm just kind of gonna compile these videos together and see where I end up and what I end up doing, and probably post it all at once. And I might end up without a house, which would really suck at the end of all this. With all this heartache and all this process has been awful and it's taken forever, but I might end up without a house, but I don't want to. So I will just let you know how it goes. And this is from a stressed, sad Abby. Hopefully next time I'm on here, I won't be stressed and sad, and I will be telling you what's actually going on. So I'll see y'all next time, okay? All right, so quick update on the house. So the sellers of the other house I was under contract with decided not to meet me at the appraisal price. So I'm going out of that contract. That contract's done, and I've signed the release of that yesterday. And then yesterday I also signed the contract for the new home, the blue home. So I'm gonna try to go for that one. We will see how it goes. It's all dependent on these other people, if they can sell their house, if they're even under contract. My realtor actually said that she couldn't see proof that there was another contract going on, so we don't even know if that was like, if they forgot to do that, or if they really weren't under contract, they were just interested in it, or what. So yeah, we will see if I get that house. Please keep me in your prayers, because this has been a long, crazy process. So good morning, everyone. So it's been a bit since I've sat down and filmed my journey of being a first-time home buyer. So, you know, the last time I was with you all, we talked about the blue house. And while it was a nice house, forget about it. It's over. We're not doing the blue house. We hadn't heard back from the sellers, and so we decided to just move forward with a different house. And I was actually about to give up on the process entirely, because it's been a long, daunting process. By the way, this is celery juice. I'm trying to be healthier and drink healthier things. This is supposed to be really good for you, so bottoms up. It does not have the best taste in the world, but I don't know, it's kind of like drinking a V8, you know? It's kind of like, ooh, I'm drinking vegetables. I feel kind of good about it. Anyway, side note. Okay, anyway, back to what I was speaking about before. So now it is, you know, let's see what date it is. Hold on. Okay, so it is now December 19th, and I started this process in September. So I'm just letting you know that sometimes, oh, let me just fix my hair for a second. Obviously, sometimes things don't go as expected and they take longer than you expected. And luckily I had time built in, because I'm still obviously living up here in Louisville in this apartment and hanging out here until April. So I had that wiggle room that time, and actually everyone told me that I was starting way too early looking for a house, and that it was like I needed to start around, you know, January, February timeframe. And now it's about to be January, and I started this all the way in September, and I've gone through house upon house house, and some of them I liked, some of them I didn't like, and here we are. And I mean, you know, I was under the contract with the Parkview house, and it was just not working out with the sellers not wanting to accept the appraisal value, and that's okay, because then I went on to find the blue house, and it was a nicer house, it was better. But the area wasn't exactly the area I was looking for of town. It was a little bit, well, let's just say my mom was worried about me living in that area of town. So that fell through for good reason. Here we are now, and this new house is going to be called the Tan House. So the Tan House is a painted brick tan house, and it's a little 1,400 square foot, two bed, two bath house, and I absolutely love it. I really do like this one. I feel really good about it. It's kind of in a good area, has all the right things I'm looking for. I wasn't really having to compromise on anything big or crazy, and it was within my price range, even a better price range than the other ones were. So it's just like all the things are lining up, and it's a really, really good deal. And so as of last Friday, they had done the inspection, and everything looked really good, only some minor fixes, because basically the people who owned the house before, they had fixed it up and kind of flipped it themselves. So everything that was big, they pretty much done. There's some things in the house that I want to fix, like has some laminate floors in the kitchen I would like to fix, and some little things like that that are more cosmetic, like painting the walls. But I'm really excited about this one. I feel really good about it. Knock on wood, let's hope, knock on wood. Let's hope this one works out, because this process has really, it's been crazy. Yeah, being a first-time home buyer isn't easy, like I said, and it's easy to just want to compromise and be like, you know, I'm just gonna get this one, it's gonna be fine, like whatever, I'll fix it up, I'll do it myself. But like, I found myself just compromising, and I was like, okay, no, like this is the first time I'm going to invest in something really important. This is a great big financial decision, and I want it to be something I like and I feel comfortable with. So I started real low on the totem pole, and I've learned so much along the way. And the first home I looked at that I haven't even told you all about was a really old, like, I want to say 1900s house that was Victorian style and in dilapidated, awful shape. But it was beautiful. It was humongous. They were selling it for obviously not a lot of money, because it was basically needed rebuilt from the ground up. And I have always had that dream of building something beautiful. Let's just wait for that AC to turn off. Hold on a minute. It's still on. All right, we're going to have to just talk over the noise. Sorry about that, guys. For whatever reason, it's not turning off. So basically, I've always had the dream of restoring an old Victorian home, like as I'm sure many people do. If you watch HGTV, anything like that, if you grew up in my household with my mom, who always wanted to do the same thing. We've talked about it for years, doing something like that together. And I really have always just wanted to do that, but it wasn't feasible for me at that time, obviously. And I had in my head that I could do it, and that I could somehow scrounge up the money to make this a beautiful Victorian home. But it was like, oh my gosh, like I would say 3,000 square foot, I think. Like it was humongous, and it was in a small town called Fairfield, Kentucky. Funny enough, the McKenna family, who owns McKenna Bourbon, used to live in that home, and that was where they started their distillery and lived in that home, and it's now for sale. And it is beautiful, and I hope one day someone buys that and fixes it up, because it's now off the market and no one ever bought it. So I hope that they find someone to repair that and really restore it to its old glory, because it's beautiful. So if anyone is watching this who has a lot of money to spare and is totally interested in doing something like that, then that's a good place to start. But it is beautiful out in Fairfield, Kentucky. It's just like a magical place. It's in the middle of nowhere, and there's farmland everywhere, and it's just beautiful. Like I can't even describe how cute Fairfield, Kentucky is. So I really did want to live there as well, and it's closer to Louisville. There were all these things that were kind of helping me up. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. But I started really small, really low, as far as needing a lot of work for a little bit of money, but a lot of work. And now I'm up here more in the middle, where I'm ending up spending probably, well actually, a little bit more money for getting more in the home. It's less things that I have to fix myself. I'm still going to fix things myself, but it's more feasible. It's in a better area of town. I'm paying for all those things. It's within walking distance of downtown Bardstown. So it all worked out in the end, and I really hope that this process works out, because I'm so excited to hopefully in a couple weeks come on here with you all and be like, hey guys, I got the freaking house. I finally got it, and I'm sure that it will happen. I'm hoping for the the best because this one just feels different, like it's gonna work out. It doesn't feel like there's all these things against me, I guess, as some of the other houses felt. But I definitely will be letting you all know here in the next couple of weeks how everything goes. And yeah, I should hear probably within the next 2 weeks if I get this house or not, if they accept everything once we've done the appraisal. The next step is the appraisal, and that is the scary part. So if it doesn't appraise, you know, then the bank won't loan all of the money for a first-time home buyer, and it would be different. It would just have to be a situation where we'd have to see what happens. But so we'll see. I'm having positive vibes and I'm having a positive attitude about it because for a while there I was really like, I'm done looking, it's too hard. But I'm really glad that I stumbled upon this house. Actually, my realtor just, once I had already told her that I didn't want to look at any houses until January, February came along, she was like, okay, but this house just came out and I think you'll really like it. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to go see it. Like, there were no inside pictures. I had no idea what it looked like. And then I ended up loving it. So keep your options open and always keep your mind open to all of those. The things that you don't want to do sometimes turn out being the best thing. So I'm really excited to see where this takes me, and I will keep y'all posted and check in with you probably after Christmas and let you know what's going on. All right, see you then. Bye guys.